Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and as you can tell, I'm a very excited man because our 49ers are in the Super Bowl. That's right. Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, and the boys, especially Brock Purdy, came back. Two games, once against Gill's Packers, who blew it with bad mistakes, and the second time against the Detroit Lions, who blew a big lead, 17 points. Another comeback thanks to Mr. Campbell, who decided, you know what? I'm not going to kick field goals. I'm going to try to go for it on fourth down from my own 20 and inside their 20. So thank you, Mr. Campbell. I'll take it. And we came back to win both
I
games.
almost feel like you're in the finals off to screw up from other teams.
That's right. We took
This sounds
advantage
like
of mistakes. Yes.
It sure sounds like it.
Meanwhile, Kansas City took advantage of a injured Buffalo and Miami squad. Buffalo not really was injured, but they couldn't score 3 points in the fourth quarter to come back in that game. And then they beat a Baltimore team that somehow decided that having Lamar Jackson pass from the pocket the whole game was the right way to beat Kansas City. So really bad mistakes and coaching problems have led to these two teams getting there. But on their merit, they should be there. Outside of Baltimore just really screwing up. Gil, your Ravens just choked it up there, and Lamar Jackson could not have looked any worse. So even though you were wrong, what do you think of that game?
Don't forget, KC only won 17-10. It's not like they blew them out. We seen Flowers fumble at that one. We saw him with that mistake, right? That's a lot of turning points in that game, right?
Yeah.
We watched the game together. We've seen the running backs can pick up the blockers. For Lamar, we talked about that. So there's a lot of things that happened there that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. But why didn't they run the ball?
KC had a perfect game plan, man.
No, but Baltimore fell for the game plan. They chose to pass the whole game. Like, why didn't they run the football?
Why. And they crowded the pocket. They crowded the pocket. That's why Lamar didn't have those long runs either.
No, they blitzed
exactly. Him. Yeah. They blitzed him. 60% of the plays, they're all blitzes.
But the counter to that is running the ball, and they ran the ball 9 times. That's just stupid.
Hey, they wanted to catch them off guard because KC's defense, buddy. Everybody has to understand that's another rated defense that KC has over there.
KC's defense is good. Now we're going to get into the game. The updated line. This line opened up at San Francisco minus 1.5. It was bet up to 2.5, and now it is San Francisco -2 as we speak. We'll start with Jose, who's at work, but was so excited about talking about this game. He's still joining us from his truck. Jose, who do you have and why?
Everything is pointing towards KC to win the Super Bowl. You got all these stupid Taylor Swift shit, Holmes underdog and all this bullshit, and Travis Kelce's supposedly he's going to propose to Taylor Swift if they win the Super Bowl. There's even a bet. You can even bet on that.
Gil, if that happens, I need a barf bag when I'm at your house. I'm going to throw up all over your house. I see a freaking proposal during the halftime.
That's not happening. That's not happening.
Fucking ridiculous.
But you know what? It's opening. This is just for Vegas to make money. Yes. The lines are like they open up by 1.5. Money's coming in on the Niners at the beginning. That by the time it's a kickoff, it's going to be a pick'em.
I agree
because a lot of people are going to start putting money on the Chiefs and stuff like that, and that's what Vegas wants. They want like half and half. So if whoever wins, the house never loses. In saying that, you know what? This is a revenge game, and
it is.
I remember when the first time when the Niners lost to KC, George Kittle goes, "I'll be back, and I'll be back with a vengeance." And I think this year, the Niners were more well-equipped team. They're better offensively. They have a better quarterback than they had at the time. I think they're more experienced. They have a better running game with McCaffrey, and I think Shanahan's going to learn from his mistakes that he made in the past games in the Super Bowls, and I think he's going to have a good game plan to counter the Chiefs' defense. Because if they're going to blitz, that's fine. We'll run down their throats with McCaffrey. Those short passes and stuff like that. That's what the Niners want. You want to come blitz? They won't blitz them. They'll play the zone coverage like the other teams have been doing all the playoffs, and that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a close game, but I think at the end of the day, I think the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl. It's not because I'm a Niner fan. I just think the Niners have more to lose than the Chiefs do in this game. Because if the Niners don't win this game, there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be free agents, and then the Niners are going to, I don't say they're not going to rebuild because they still have the quality and players. They're going to still be a playoff team, but it's not going to be that championship team that like they have this year. So they went all in. They have to win this year, and still, and you got to take advantage of Brock Purdy being on that rookie contract because, dude, if this guy keeps playing the way he is, you're gonna have to pay him big coin, and then there goes like everything else. Then you can't have McCaffrey's, and you can't have Ayuk's, and you can't have Samuels all on your same team, right? So in saying that, I'm gonna take I want the Niners to win. I think the Niners are gonna pull this one off in a close one. I think it's you know what? Jake Moody's been missing a lot of field goals in the playoffs, but I think it's going to come down to him, and he's going to kick that winning field goal, and the Niners are going to win. That's what I got to say.
Yeah.
And talking to Gil, they got lucky, this and that. You know what? I've seen my team lose NFC Championship games to a muff punt. Okay, it's against the Giants. When they lost to the Giants in the NFC Championship game in the overtime, the guy muffed the punt, and they lost the game like that. So it's luck is part of the game. And
I've seen my team not make the playoffs because of Mexican refs. I've seen my team not go to the finals, to the Super Bowl finals, because the guy does not catch an onside kick. So don't tell me about your stories, because trust me, I've seen worse.
Okay, I'm not saying you have seen worse. I'm just saying you saying that they got lucky. Yeah. For you to get to the Super Bowl, you have to be lucky. You telling me the Kansas City wasn't lucky when the guy fumbled the ball at the 1 yard line?
Correct.
Like it's to be good. Sometimes you have to be lucky, and you have to the bounces have to go your way. Yeah, it's not. But dude, you can't blame the Dan Campbell because he's been a risk taker all year. Okay, he even said it himself. He would do it over and over again. In his 20s on the opposite 20, he was going to go for 4 downs. That's how he was coaching the whole season. Why is he going to change now? Yeah, if he kicked the field goal, he would have tied up the game and maybe it would have been a different story. But hey, like he is a risk taker all year, dude, and that's how he went down. Like sometimes you have the glory, and if it doesn't work, then you look like the fool.
He went down because the receivers didn't make the catches, man, when they needed to. Because that's a drop ball.
Yeah,
Reynolds down.
Reynolds dropped the ball. That's that was the one. But the other one,
that was a drop ball.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. It's
exactly. It's like for anybody to say that was a stupid move by Dan Campbell. No, it wasn't, because the guy was all open. He was by himself. He just dropped the ball. Yeah. So you can't really say it was a stupid move.
The only thing that scares me about this game, and I'll tell you right now, is the 49ers, the run defense in the first half. These last two games in the first half was terrible. And then at halftime, they adjusted and they shut him down. It's just hopefully that they can adjust it in the first quarters, the first half, and they don't get blown out by halftime, because I don't see them coming back against a good defensive Chiefs team like that. The Lions are not that good defensively. That's why they were able to come back, and they took a couple of risks and didn't work out. But if they go down by 17 to the Chiefs, I don't think they're gonna be able to come back. So they gotta play smart. They gotta play 60. You know what? And this also just shows you that they haven't played an all around game, a 60-minute game all these past playoffs. And maybe they're saving the best for last. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes. But I think the Niners will squeak one up.
Gil or Tony, who would like to go next?
Could be Tony if you want.
All right, Barbosa, who do you have and why?
Listen, in the first show I said the Niners are gonna win the Super Bowl, right? That's what I said. I just like their team the way it's built from top to bottom, and then they had Chase Young. to that front line there on the defensive end. Don't get me wrong, they're still a good team, but I seen some weaknesses in their game in the last 2 weeks in the playoffs. Their run defense was terrible, especially in Green Bay. Was the whole game, Jose? It wasn't just the first half. It was the second half too. Green Bay ran the ball in the second half too. Against the Detroit, I don't know what happened. Detroit kind of stopped running the ball. So I don't know what happened, but that's the only thing that kind of scares me in San Fran is their run defense. If they won't be able to stop Pacheco, that's going to be a tough game for them to win, especially if they go down early. In saying that, it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Travis Kelce, it's Andy Reid. I'm going to change my pick. I'm going to go with KC. I think KC is going to pull it off. It's too Mahomes in the playoffs. It's too hard to beat Mahomes in the playoffs. So I'm going to take KC I'd say by a field goal.
All right, Gil, you had the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. Obviously, they stunk it up against Kansas City. You did like San Francisco this year. Who do you have in the Super Bowl, and why?
Well, before I continue, I just want to let the people know it wasn't really Mexican refs. It's just an inner thing between all of us. I was in Mexico watching that game, so that's why we said it like that. But no, there weren't Mexican refs. I have nothing against Mexican refs. It's just to say that I was in Mexico when I watched the game. So I just don't want people to get it all twisted out there.
Incomplete or a touchdown? Which one? I don't know.
Number 2, this is what I'm going to be doing Sunday. So cheers, boys. Good luck.
Yes, absolutely. Cheers. Yes. Can't wait. The party's at Gil's house, guys. So watch out for some cameos on the show. Might do some recordings.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. So you guys brought up all good points. This is the way I see it, at least my point of view. Kansas City's gonna have a real hard time stopping McCaffrey. I think the Niners will stop Pacheco because Kansas City never really showed a Pacheco outside running, and the Niners were getting eaten alive by the Packers and the Lions was when they ran the ball to the outside. And Pacheco's really no, they did a lot of outside.
Detroit ran on the inside. Detroit ran the ball on the inside.
Detroit had a two-headed monster, but they adjusted to it after. Green Bay, they didn't because they just kept pounding it to the outside. But anyways, with that being said, I think this is going to come down to how good is Purdy going to play. This might come down to Purdy's hands. If Purdy plays well, McCaffrey does the running game. I think the Niners' defense is better than KC's. But
relatively speaking, yeah.
Is this the game Purdy chokes? Is this the game where, does the Super Bowl get to him and he can't get it done? He's going to need a lot of help from McCaffrey, that's for sure. But if the game's on the line and the football's in his hands, can he do it? That's the question. And I have a feeling in this game, the ball's going to be in someone's hands with the last minute or whatever, last minute and 20 to win the game. Or a field goal or touchdown. It's going to be one of their hands. If it's in Mahomes' hands, we all know what might happen because he does it all the time. Can Purdy do the same? That's the question. I really don't want to see KC win. I had a lot of people at work bothering me too about my team. So it kind of made me go back to KC. Sergio Gomes, yes. And then, but now, talking back and forth, I still think at the end of the day, Niners defense to me is better. I think they have an easier time stopping Pacheco than KC has stopping McCaffrey. If Purdy was a little bit more convincing to me, it would be an easy San Fran and money line. With that being said, I'm going to say San Fran wins the game. And I'll probably buy some points, maybe the 3.5 for maybe KC to cover. I don't know. That's how tight it's going to be. And that line hasn't really changed that much. It's been at 1.5. Now it's at 2, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, two. It went to 2.5. Now it's back down to 2.
Now it's 2 for San Fran. To me, this is a nail biter to the end. That's just us saying what we think because we also watched Denver lose, what was it, 48
43
to
to 8.
nothing or 43 to 8 by halftime. It was and we all thought it was going to be a tight game too, and that was done by the first snap. It went to safety. So
Russell Wilson.
So that was, you never know what you get out of these games. You guys, don't forget, turnovers have a big point in the game too. Fumbles, interceptions.
Well, that's where the game. I think that's where the game is gonna be won and lost is the turnovers.
It's just not how great the guys are. It's also that bounce going your way, right? So who knows? But I'm gonna say San Fran.
All right. I will give you my take, but we're gonna take a break, and then I will come back and give you my thoughts, and then we'll give you final thoughts on the Super Bowl. So we'll be right back. Trust me, you don't want to miss what I'm going to say about this game. See you in a second. Welcome back to the Reese Report. We had to take a little bit of a break. We have Gil, who took the 49ers. Did we get a score from you? You said by a field goal, right? Did you say by a field goal?
Yeah, let's call it 24-21.
Okay. Barbosa also picked he changed. He took Kansas City. Jose's on San Francisco. First of all, I think this is going to be a great game. I think that sorry, go ahead, Barbosa. What's your score?
No, my score will be 24-21 also.
There you go. So you got two 24-21s. I think this is going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a chess match between two teams that have both strengths and flaws. I am worried about the 49ers defense. I'm not going to lie. They struggle mightily against the run. Isaiah Pacheco is a power runner, and I don't want to get down early to this Kansas City team. I disagree with Gil. I actually think the KC defense is better than San Francisco defense. And I only say that because of the playoffs. When Kansas City needed stops, they stopped everyone every time they needed to. To hold Buffalo for an entire quarter of no points, to hold the Ravens to 0 points in the second half, or pretty close to 0 points in the second half, to hold a 17-10 lead, and which was once 17-3, is pretty impressive. The 49ers are struggling on defense. Green Bay and Detroit did what they wanted. Now, they did come back and they did hold them after that. So that is a positive. But you don't want to get down against City.
They shut down Green Bay in the second half. And
they did.
They shut down
and Detroit.
And Detroit. So yes. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is a different animal, though.
Let me get to my point, guys. Let me get to my point.
You got Patrick Mahomes. There's difference between Patrick Mahomes, Jordan Love, and Patrick Mahomes and
I'm going to
Jared Goff.
I'm going to explain. So what I don't want in this game is for them to get down against Kansas City. I don't think you're going to come back against Kansas City. If they get up, then that allows Patrick Mahomes and Isaiah Pacheco to control the game. You don't want that. The 49ers have to get up early. If they get up early, then their defense, I believe, will play better, and I believe they can control the game. The team that leads this game early is going to have control, and you don't want to be playing catch-up, number one, if you're Brock Purdy, and number two, if you're the 49ers playing that defense. Mahomes can come back on us, right? So I want to make sure we have a lead early so we can give the ball to Christian McCaffrey and not put too much pressure on Purdy to throw us back into the game. That's what I want to see happen. If we win the coin toss, I want to receive. I'm not giving Kansas City the ball first. We receive, we score on them first, and then we try to take control. Debo and Ayuk need to have big games. George Kittle, who called this a revenge game, I agree with him. It is a revenge game. He needs to have a big game. McCaffrey needs to run the ball down that defense's throat. The weakness of the Kansas City defense is the run defense. And why Baltimore did not run the football against Kansas City, I'll never know. Buffalo made the same mistake. The 49ers have to run the football. Even if they're down 7-0, run the football and then use the play action with Purdy. Purdy can make the throws. He's been great all year. Tight window, long balls. He knows where to put the football, but don't put too much pressure on that kid. I think that if they get up early, they can win this game. I think it's going to be – I actually like your guys' score. Like 24-21 sounds just about right. Like that's probably what it's going to be. It won't be too high scoring, won't be too low scoring, but I think it's going to be a big chess match. Like I believe the 49ers defense will rebound. Like Steve Wilkes called their ass out. Like I'm not making this up, guys. Steve Wilkes called their ass out, called their defensive effort embarrassing. So it's not like I'm saying this to because I'm not a fan. I'm analyzing the game like they did. Our defense sucked those 2 games. We needed Purdy miracles to pull those games out. Kansas City's defense was dominant. So like we have that defense has to be much better. Now the way I would play it is this, and Barbosa, you're not going to like this. Take Travis Kelce away. Do not let that man beat us. I don't care if Rasheed Wright catches the ball.
You're
I don't
right.
care if MVS catches the ball. I don't care
You're right.
if Nicole Hartman catches the ball or Tony, the guy who wants to have Instagram meltdowns, okay? No, but Travis Kelce gets doubled. He doesn't beat us. And you know what? This is going to sound crazy, but no one ever seems to want to do it since Tampa Bay. I'm blitzing Mahomes' ass. I'm blitzing him. I'm not letting him sit back there and pick and wait around and run around and wait to pass the ball to whoever he wants to. I'm blitzing his ass like Tampa Bay did in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Now, I know that could lead to Pacheco and big runs, but the 49er pass rush has not got any pressure on any quarterbacks the first 2 games. A lot of it has to do with Chase Young being lazy and not playing well, but I'm glad Nick Bosa woke up in the second half against Detroit. He got to Goff, threw him down a couple of times, and woke up because he's had a very average season. I need Nick Bosa to have a big game. I need Hargrave and those boys to get to Mahomes. And then that will, if we can get up early, that'll lead to less Pacheco, and then we can maybe take advantage of that. Because our secondary is not the best. We need to make sure we get to Mahomes. If we don't, it could be a long day for us. So I'm hoping our front 4 rushes more, gets to him. We take the early lead and we take advantage of their run defense because they have excellent corners. Their corners are excellent. I don't want to be throwing the ball the whole game. It's going to lead to turnovers. So run the ball early, get up early, blitz with your defense, and try to take control early. Otherwise, it could be a long day. I got the 49ers winning this game. I'm going to say 27-24. I hope it doesn't come down to a field goal because Jake Moody worries me. Maybe I'll say 28-24. Because we won't need a field goal because we'll be up 4. We get a late touchdown and win the game. But I think they'll win by 4. The MVP of the game, well, if we have 28 points, well, I think McCaffrey's going to be the MVP because they're going to need him to be the best player on the field for them to win this game. So I think it'll be McCaffrey. Do you guys have an MVP pick?
If it's the Niners, I agree. It's McCaffrey. If it's the Chiefs, it's going to be Mahomes.
Yo, you picked San Francisco. Who's your MVP?
I agree with Tony. If Niners, it's McCaffrey. And if it's the Chiefs, it'll be Mahomes.
Jose, who's your MVP?
Niners will be George Kittle.
Wow, I like that pick. He's plus 1,300, plus 1,300. That's good.
It'll grow to Brock Purdy. If Kittle has a game like that, it'll grow to Purdy. It's not going to go to George Kittle.
Why wouldn't it go to George Kittle? If he scores 2 touchdowns, trust me, the Chiefs.
It all has to. Okay, unless
against Baltimore, did you see?
Unless he puts the yards, unless he does yards after the catch, unless the yards after the catch are big yardage. But if it's 2 touchdowns and he gets 100 yards, but it's not, yards after the catch, he's not winning it. It's going to be Brock Purdy.
If it's over 10 catches and 2 touchdowns with over 100 yards, Kittle could win it. We saw that with Julian Edelman against St. Louis, or the LA Rams. But it would have to be an incredible game that stands out. But go ahead, Josie. You make your picks. Kittle or I guess Kansas City, you say Mahomes as well. It will be Mahomes if it's Kansas City.
It won't be Mahomes. I think it would be Isaiah Pacheco if they.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah. So that's our picks for the Super Bowl. There's obviously gonna be a lot of prop bets. Gil, you have some fun prop bets. Are you betting the coin toss this year? What do you got this year in the coin toss, Gil? You gonna give away your pick on our show on my channel?
But last year I lost. I think it was last year.
First time.
That killed my streak, right? I'm gonna say heads.
Gonna say heads this year. All right. And do we know who the anthem singer is yet? Because we have to do the time. Does anyone know who it is?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
They did announce it. I forgot who it was.
It's not Taylor
Hey.
Swift, is it?
And the
No.
coin toss, it's tails, baby. Like last year, I won, and the tails never fails, buddy. Tails it is
Tails
again.
never fails. The anthem singer is Reba McEntire. Wow, the country
Gotcha.
singer.
The
Oh,
country
Wow,
singer. Yeah.
okay. Well, that
Under.
will be interesting. Yeah, that's an under. Yeah, she's like 70 years old. That's an under.
yeah,
She's not
100%.
going to
That's
sing too long. Yeah. So, yeah, that's an under for sure. Any before we go, guys, that's our Super Bowl picks. Any prop bets? I know, see, Barbosa, he likes to lose money on prop bets because he has to pay us $20 at the Super Bowl each, me and Jose, for betting Kelsey to go over. So do you want to give us a prop bet, Barbosa, that you like? Do you like Kelsey again to go over 100 yards?
No, my prop bet for you guys is actually for the halftime. Will Rob Gronkowski make the field goal?
Oh yeah, that's a good one actually. Yeah, I think you can bet that actually, right? I think you can bet if he makes it or
Yeah,
not.
you can. Yeah,
He
you
just
can.
missed the last one. It curved to the left. He just missed it.
He just missed it. Really? It was the win.
Well, it was the win. He curved it to the left, man. It looked like he just missed it.
Everybody's gonna take no. Everybody's gonna say he's gonna miss it, but he's gonna
I'm
make
gonna
the field
take
goal.
yes. I'm gonna take yeah. Watch.
He's gonna make the field goal.
Watch. Gil, you're pretty good at prop bets, as are you, Jose. What do you got for prop bets? What's your lock prop bet this for the Super Bowl?
Whatever McCaffrey is over.
Yeah, I agree.
Total yards is what 180 total yards, I believe.
No,
that's his prop.
Oh, is it that high? 180.
Total yards.
Oh, so passing and receiving. It was one.
Yeah,
remember,
I
Gil, we
believe
were at
it's
the house.
180.
It was 135 last time. I don't think it's going to be that high.
Is it?
It was when we did the Detroit game. It was 135 for passing and receiving.
Passing and receiving, and just for rushing was 48.
It was like 41.
Yeah, it was the easiest.
It was a low total.
It was low.
Yeah. Jose, you got a prop bet?
Yeah, Brock Purdy over 10 rushing yards.
That's a good bet.
I think he's going to use his legs a lot. He's going to have to use his legs a lot.
Yeah.
What is it? What's his
10 yards?
What's his yardage?
I think it's 8.5 for yards rushing.
Oh,
that sounds like a great bet.
I like
that sounds like a great bet. Absolutely.
That's a good over.
He might get it on one play.
I like Kittle to score a touchdown anytime.
Yeah.
I like Brock Purdy to throw he's going to throw an interception.
Okay. I think that's possible.
I see Bosa getting over. I think it's at. I think it's 4 tackles. Okay. I think it's at 2.5. He's going to get more than 2.5 tackles. Usher is going to do less than 9 songs.
Oh, I would think he's going to do less than 9 songs. Yeah, I don't think he's going over 9 songs. Yeah, absolutely. Usher, jeez.
What's
Taylor Swift surprise people with music or a song or a concert, anything like that?
No.
No. Okay. Because the NFL is kind of like that, eh? They'll do something stupid and put her on stage with Usher or something.
Well, she's not going to do that, but it ain't a bad idea. But
he's going to be jet lag from coming from Japan.
Yeah, Japan.
That's right. I will say the over on Pacheco. I think he's going to get over the rushing yards. Mahomes for a fumble. I think Bosa gets him. So Mahomes fumbles the ball once.
Mahomes for a fumble.
He's gonna have a fumble lost.
No.
Yeah.
He doesn't turn the ball over that much, especially fumbles.
What was the other one I liked? I agree with Jose. Kittle's gonna have a big game. I don't know what the total is, but Kittle to go over a lot of stuff in this game.
Bro, Kansas City can't cover wide tight ends, man. That's their thing. You can look up all the stats on the whole season, even the playoffs. Yeah. Last week against Likely tore them up for a thing. The freaking trust me, you're gonna see.
Yeah, and then McCaffrey will go over his probably rushing and receiving, but for sure rushing.
His rushing is 91.5.
Oh, if they're gonna win, he has to go over that total. So
yeah,
I think
91.5.
Yeah. Now I don't know what Kansas City's strategy is going to be, but like if they stack the box and rely on the corners, that if McCaffrey is not successful with them stacking the box, we could have a long day. But I think McCaffrey's too damn good. He'll figure out a way to run on that defense. Go ahead, Jose.
I say Kelsey scores a touchdown too. He's gonna score one, no matter even if he gets.
You know what?
Teams.
I don't think he's getting one.
He always finds a way of getting a touchdown, especially in the playoffs. Man, there's been double teams, triple teams, and he's still able to catch it. Last week against the Ravens, they have one of the best secondaries in the NFL. Safeties and Hamilton and stuff, and they were double teaming, and he still was able to score 2 touchdowns.
That was a crazy throw and catch, though. I mean, that was incredible. I mean,
but don't play zone. Don't play zone against the Chiefs. You want to stop. You want to stop.
To me, the 49ers have to blitz him. They have to blitz him.
Play man coverage on.
Our secondary is not good enough to sit back there and hope that we can get to them with 4. They have to blitz Mahomes. That's the secret to success.
And play man coverage on Kelsey.
Bosa has to have a big game. You know what? I'll throw it out there. Long shot pick Bosa for MVP.
No,
could be a defensive player. No, it could be. This could be one of those games where a defensive player wins it. I mean, who knows?
Unless if he has like
Chandler
4
Jones,
sacks.
I've heard a lot about Chiefs win Chandler Jones while winning the MVP.
I think the defenses are going to be good in this game. So look, it could be that kind of game. Remember, Mahomes has not been good in the Super Bowls. If you look at his stats, Mahomes has not been a good quarterback in the Super Bowls. He wasn't good against San Francisco when he beat us until the 4th quarter. He was terrible against Tampa Bay, and Brock Purdy's playing in his first Super Bowl. So this could be a defensive struggle where the running backs and the defense control the game. It could very easily be an upset for MVP.
It could be the running backs getting the MVP. You're right.
You want a long shot, but he's been watch for Chase Young. I think Chase Young's gonna have.
He's got to wake up. That guy's got to wake up.
He's been called up by the coaches and stuff like that. Yeah. He's been doing shitty like these past games.
If he wants to get paid, he has no choice.
That's what I'm saying. And this could be a breakout game for him. Get pressure on Mahomes and stuff like that. That can be helpful for the Niners defense too, right? So
For me, a long shot would be. I still remember Green Bay in '96, and who won it?
Desmond Howard.
The kick returner, Desmond Howard. So don't be surprised if there's some kickoff returns here, guys. It might be the returner.
Yeah, that was the craziest thing when he won the award the year they won. But he had two return touchdowns, no?
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 or something like that.
Yeah,
everything he touched, he went back.
That's it.
The long shot would be what's KC's receiver? Rice? Is it Rice?
Rice? Yeah.
The rookie?
Because if they double Kelsey, they're gonna have to. Rice is gonna get the ball. So
yeah.
Here's another shot. One. Well, this is a great one because this is plus 12,000, guys. Will there be a safety? This is such a great bet. I love betting safeties every year.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so, man.
No ball thrown into the end zone, Barbosa, like Peyton Manning.
No, not both of these. Not both of these teams. They're too well coached for that.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. And if it does, it's probably Mahomes trying to run around and
that's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Yeah.
No, I see Purdy doing that, not Mahomes. I don't see Mahomes. No, he's going to run the block. I can see Purdy.
Brock Purdy won't do that because he's going to be under center. So it's going to be hard for him to. If he's on shotgun, okay, but he's under center, freaking in the I formation. So he's always getting the ball beside the freaking.
I don't think. They're too well coached, man. I don't see that happening.
Well, unless it's a bad snap. Well, that's what happened.
But that's a bad snap. That's okay, but that's just fluke. But like plays like that,
it happened, but we don't see it happen. But it might happen. But I see if it does happen, it's something stupid like that, like a bad snap.
Well, that's the only way. That's the only way.
Kickoff is gonna be a touchback.
Yeah, you know what? It's going to say it usually doesn't happen because of the touchbacks, right?
Hey, what are the numbers? Do they have props for how many touchbacks there is in the game?
Oh, I don't know about that. There might be.
Bro, they have everything.
They have everything.
I'm sure they have. They have prop bets for everything, man.
They do.
But the longest odds of any prop bet is the safety. It's like plus 12,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it hardly happens, right? It'll happen once in a fucking
like it's worth $10, eh? Like you win $1,200 if it happens. Like it's worth it. So Well, that is our Super Bowl coverage, guys. But hope we covered everything we possibly could. We're going to be at Gil's house. Gil is prepared with the red background. He's already got the 49er plan ready. I'm going to bring a big ass jersey and maybe a flag to put behind there to make sure it's a 49ers house. Because the last time I came to his house, I had to wear his Green Bay stuff while he was around eating cheese and drinking. So you have to be a Green Bay fan if you come here. You got to be a Green Bay fan if you come. Then Lino shows up and says black and yellow, and Gil was trying to beat him up the whole damn time we were there. But this is a 49er party with 49er fans. Your sister's going to be there, I assume, too? Another 49er fan? It's a 49er house this time, Gil. You all right with that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So we're ready. And no Mahomes Texas Tech jerseys, Gil. Here we go. I should make you turn around, Gil. Whose jersey is that? Turn around.
Whose jersey?
Yeah, let's
It's
see. Let's see who
Mahomie.
it is. Let's see who it is.
Can you
Of
see?
course it's Mahomes. Of course it is. Of course it is. I knew it.
And you're
But he
picking
still-
San Fran,
he
and you're
still
picking
took
San
San
Fran. You're
Fran,
wearing a
though.
Mahomes jersey.
He still took
This was
San
just
Fran,
this
though.
was to throw all you guys off.
But Jose knew what it was right away. He knew. I didn't know. He knew what it was right away. So there you go. All right, guys. So that's our show for today. Thank you for joining us. This was a lot of fun. I'd like to thank Jose, Tony Barbosa, and Gil for coming on each and every week to do our picks. Jose did win the pick competition. It was very, very close all the way through. I made a big comeback to make it interesting, but Jose did go wire to wire for the win this year. So Jose won this and I won fantasy, so I'm quite happy with that. But yes, we love doing these shows, and we congratulate Barbosa for having a successful first season. Not too bad. He was off on his Indy pick by 2 wins, so we'll forgive him for that. But he did have a good pick here. Not too bad. But his predictions were kind of way off on some of these. Pickett's going to have a great MVP season. It was a little weird, but that's okay. We'll forgive him. It's okay. We'll do better next year.
Well, sure. I didn't expect Canada to screw that up. That situation.
Yeah, of course. And so before we go, and sign off for our football season, Barbosa, are you going to bravely give us another Colts win pick this year? Like, well, how much are they winning next year? You want to throw it out there early?
No. Let me get through the off season.
That's right. Okay.
Let's get through the off season.
He's not going to do it
through
this
the
time.
off season. Because they might lose some players. They might lose some offensive players. They might lose some players. We'll see. They might gain some players, and then I'll change my pick, and I'll say, meh. Let's see.
Why are we talking about the Colts? Why are we talking about the Colts?
Because it's the Colts, buddy.
Why are we wasting time talking about the Colts?
Because it's the Colts.
They're not even going to win 10
Hey,
games next year.
Win the
Mark
Super
my
Bowl.
words.
Win the Super Bowl. Because if you don't win the Super Bowl, you guys are going back to.
Buddy, don't worry about
you're going back to Earth.
Don't
Huh?
worry about making the playoffs in the front.
Win the Super Bowl.
When's the last time you made the playoffs?
Oh God, when was it the last
2 years
time?
ago.
How
Philip
what?
Rivers? No, it was
How
Philip
many?
Rivers.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
We yeah. Okay, sorry. 3 years ago.
Three years
Exactly.
ago.
3
Philip
years.
Rivers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay. Talk to me when you make the playoffs.
Okay, how
Yeah.
long did it take you guys to make the playoffs before you got any good? How long did it take you? 20 years?
20 years.
Not
Yeah,
that
you guys
long.
won the Super Bowl, and then what? It took you 20 years to make the playoffs.
Didn't we make?
We were there
we
with
made
Jim
the Super
Harbaugh,
Bowl
man.
right after we
Oh,
lost
sorry.
to the.
You made
We
once.
lost to
You
the
made
Packers right after. Are you
you
dumb?
made
or what?
once. You made once with Jeff Garcia. My bad. My bad.
Don't worry about
My
it.
bad.
You know what, Barbosa?
And
I got news for
how
you.
many times did you guys make the playoffs during that time too? You
Every
guys were
single
shit.
season. Every single
You
season
guys-
with Manny, except his first.
Exactly, but before Manning came,
well,
what
happened?
did you guys do? Nothing.
Huh?
Exactly. You had Jim Moore talking playoffs. We're thinking about playoffs. Yeah, exactly. Bro, get out of here, bro.
He's the best. That guy's a
With
That guy's a
Peyton
cool
Manning
favorite,
starting.
buddy.
With Peyton
Yeah.
Manning starting.
Yeah, we're talking
Huh?
about playoffs. Yeah,
no,
exactly.
it wasn't Manning starting.
No,
It was Jim
Manning.
Harbaugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Jim
bro.
Harbaugh.
Don't
That
even,
was
don't even
Okay,
start.
okay.
Bro, don't even start, Barbosa, please.
Playoffs.
Don't even start.
Playoffs.
I got news for you, Barbosa, but I'll tell you this. I'm way more confident in Gil's Packers than your Colts next year. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, I can see the Packers are a great team. They're going to be a good team. They're going to give Detroit a run for that division next year. I agree.
Yeah. So the NFC is going to be a more interesting division next year, but we'll talk about that when the offseason begins. Yeah, I think it'll be a better conference, a lot more competitive than it was this year. But we'll talk about that.
And the same thing goes for his shitty division.
Yeah,
the Houston's upcoming.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's gonna get better. I don't know about
Jacksonville, buddy.
The Titans are
I
gonna
agree
lose.
with Gil. Okay, on Trevor Lawrence, that guy's overrated.
Yes, but the Texans,
guy's overrated.
They got the rookie of the year. The defensive rookie of the year. Like Houston is really
the problem. Houston is the problem.
Yeah.
But Jacksonville,
Okay.
Jacksonville's only get better when they trade Lawrence. They gotta get rid of him.
He's not good, Lawrence. He's not good.
And is it true that the season opener this year is in Brazil? I heard. The Eagles.
Yeah, they're going to Brazil.
Yeah,
no, it's
so stupid.
Thursday night. That's going to be on Friday night. It's Thursday night game is always whoever wins the Super
defending
Bowl.
champ. Yeah, the defending champ. Yeah,
I think, and then there's a game on Friday night in Brazil, which is I think the Eagles versus somebody in Brazil.
It is the Eagles. I just don't know who.
Yeah, it's the Eagles.
It is the Eagles. Yeah.
So Jose, are we gonna vote Brazil this year or what?
For what?
For our football trip.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro, cara.
Yo, buddy. Can you imagine us? We've been shot the first night that we get there.
Yes, that's right.
The Brazilian cartel would be after us, bro.
Especially Fab, you would have been arrested the first night.
Oh my God. Be careful when you go down there, man.
Yeah, menina, você andar dançar comigo?
We'd be sleeping in the beaches, in those beach towels over there. We don't even get back to the hotel room.
Yes. I will say before we go, we will be covering Euro 2024. We'll have the guys back for that. So for our summer content, we will cover the other football, which is football in Europe, soccer here in Canada. We will cover that. So look forward to that, guys. We'll try to do a weekly show there, or after the first games are done, second games done, we'll talk about Portugal and Italy mostly, but we'll talk about all the teams. We'll make our selections prior to the tournament. I'm 2-0 in my last two tournaments, picking Italy and Argentina correctly. We'll see if I can make it 3 for 3. But we'll do that in June. So we'll see you then. But until then, thank you all for watching all year. I'm the Mouth of North Andrew Reese. That is Tony, Tommy, Bosa Barbosa, Gilbey Santos, and Jose Carlos Gomes. We'll see you in the summer for the Euros. And hit my music.